The Instant Pot is my secret weapon for getting dinner on the table most weeknights. So here you will see tonight I am making Korean beef tacos with sriracha slaw. This is one of my family's favorites. Here's a brief overview of the recipe, but don't worry, I will add it in the description box below. So you will see a lineup of the ingredients that I used, but not pictured is sriracha sauce because I was out, and an Asian pear because I could not find one. If you can get your hands on those, definitely do because they do enhance the recipe. So for this recipe, I used a 2 to 3 pound chuck roast cut up into pieces, salt and pepper. You're going to want to turn your Instant Pot on the saute feature, and when the oil gets hot, go ahead and put some of the pieces into brown. Be sure not to overcrowd the pot or else the meat will not brown as well. So here you'll see that I'm browning this roast in batches. After that, you're going to want to make your sauce to pour on top of it. And the sauce is a soy sauce base with garlic and sesame oil. It's really good. So pour that sauce over on top and then go ahead and make sure that your pot is sealed, and you want to cook this on high pressure for about 65 minutes or so. And while that meat is cooking away, you can go ahead and start your sauce for your cold slaw. The base of this sauce is mayonnaise, and you're going to see some hot sauce there. You should be using sriracha, but again, I was out, and some fresh lime juice. And just give that a good stir and stick it in the fridge until the meat is ready. So when your meat is ready, go ahead and do a quick release and drain off any fat and liquid. And this is my handy dandy shortcut. I just use my kitchen mixers to shred up my meat. And go ahead and plate it. Don't forget the sesame seeds. Next recipe is seriously so easy, you guys. These are the only ingredients that you need. I don't even have a recipe for this one. It's just that easy. So go ahead and set your Instant Pot again to saute and add some oil. Into your pot, you are going to want to add 1 pound of ground beef. You can see here that I am splitting my ingredients in half because Jen and I were each making this meal. Go ahead and put your ground beef in there with some salt and pepper. Whatever seasonings that you use is just fine, and go ahead and start browning up your meat. I think I decided to add in some Italian seasoning to this. Oh, and some fresh minced garlic, about a teaspoon or so. Again, you guys, there's nothing that you can do to mess up this recipe. It's just that easy. So go ahead and brown up your meat. I'm using a very lean ground beef, so I do not need to drain the fat. To that, I just added some Italian seasoning again. And once that is pretty much cooked up, you're going to want to put a box of noodles. I highly recommend using these little corkscrew noodles. They work the best in my opinion. The whole box goes in. Then you want to add your favorite jar of store-bought spaghetti sauce. Rouse is one of mine. And pour that entire jar of sauce over the noodles. And then when that is done, you're going to want to fill that jar up halfway with water. Again, no measuring really. This is just an easy recipe. So just fill it up halfway with water. The key here, you guys, is to make sure that all of the noodles are submerged in liquid or sauce. You do not want any dry noodles sticking up, so I'm using the back of my spoon and just pushing everything down. And when everything is covered, go ahead and put that lid on, and you can cook it on high pressure. We did 6 minutes, and our noodles were a little bit firm, so we just left it in the Instant Pot a few more minutes, and it was perfect. Next comes the good part. You need a half a brick of cream cheese and a half a block of shredded Parmesan cheese. So when your noodles are done, just take the lid off, make sure that they are cooked to your likeness, and give them a quick stir. And then you get to add in the good stuff, the cream cheese and fresh Parmesan. Just stir all of that in until everything is nice and melted. And once it's all stirred in, you are done. Next recipe again is out of my Instant Pot Miracle Cookbook. Tonight's dinner is chicken burrito bowls, another family favorite. Here's a quick overview of the recipe. So for this recipe, first you're cooking the chicken. So here's the lineup of what you're going to need. Again, don't worry, I will link everything in the description box down below for you. So I added 2 pounds of chicken. On top of that, a can of diced tomatoes, some chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, salt, pepper, some fresh garlic, and a chopped up onion. To this step, you are not adding anything else except for the chicken and the liquids. So you're going to go ahead and cook this chicken on high pressure for about 15 minutes or so, depending on how much chicken you have in there. 15 minutes was perfect for mine. And while your chicken is cooking, you can go ahead and make the chipotle cream sauce. This is what sets this recipe over the edge. It is simply sour cream, some of that chipotle adobo sauce, and some fresh squeezed limes with some minced garlic, and that is it. So give that a good stir, and then you can stick it in the refrigerator while the chicken and rice is cooking. There it is, all stirred up. Next, I am going to be shredding a block of pepper jack cheese. You could also use Monterey Jack cheese if your family does not like things spicy. That would work just fine. My chicken is done, so I'm taking it out of the liquid mixture, and I'm keeping all of that liquid in the Instant Pot because to that I am going to add an entire box of instant brown rice. And then I'm going to be adding 1 cup of frozen corn, and then 1 can of drained black beans, 1 can of drained pinto beans. Give that a good stir. I am not adding any additional liquid to this. Go ahead and put this on high for 5 minutes. I actually ended up cooking it another 5 minutes. While that's cooking, just use those kitchen mixers again to shred up your meat. It just makes that job so much easier. So my chicken is literally shredded in no time at all. And when your rice and corn and bean mixture is done, go ahead and give that a good stir. And then to that, you can go ahead and add in your cheese and then your chicken mixture. And as you can see, guys, this makes a ton of food. This will feed a lot of people. So pour in your cheese and chicken, stir it all up, and when you go to plate it, don't forget that you have that really good chipotle cream sauce to add on top of it. And dinner is served. This one is a good one, guys. A last recipe is Mississippi pot roast. You can see here that Jen already seared her roast in the Instant Pot. She used the saute feature. And here is a lineup of the ingredients. Super simple, only 4 things plus some seasonings and spices. So after you brown your Instant Pot, go ahead and just use some broth and deglaze the bottom of the pot to get all of those yummy bits off. Put your meat back in the pot, and to that you're going to want to pour in a jar of pepperoncinis. You can use the whole pepperoncinis or the sliced ones, whichever one you'd like is just fine. And once you pour in the pepperoncinis, next you are going to add in some salt and pepper. You can season your roast with anything that your family likes. It's really completely up to you. After this, I'm adding in a little bit of onion powder. And then after that, a little bit of garlic powder. Once you have all of your spices and you've seasoned it to your liking, then you add 1 packet of ranch dressing mix just to the top there. After that, you're going to add in a packet of brown gravy mix to the top of that as well. Once you have everything in, then you can go ahead and add some more liquid. Add about 1 to 2 cups of broth. You can use beef broth or chicken broth, either is fine. And then at the end, you're going to add a pat of butter to the top. This is about a stick of butter. And you can go ahead and put your lid on. Make sure that your Instant Pot is sealed and cook it for 1 hour. When the meat is done, it should be nice and tender. You can either eat these on top of a roll as a sandwich. Sometimes I serve mashed potatoes with it, but either way, your family will love it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.